On your side, 6 News starts with breaking news.
An Omaha neighborhood rocked by a morning explosion. What's left of a house engulfed in flames.
A scene of destruction as rescue crews race to put out the fire. Windows and walls blown out in nearby homes. It's breaking news we've been tracking throughout the day. 2 people have died following the morning home explosion. 2 others were also critically injured in the blast.
Here's what we know right now. First responders were called to a home near 50th and L about 8:15 this morning for an explosion. It was quickly upgraded to a 2-alarm fire.
6 News with team coverage on this story. We join Cecilia Jenkins live on scene with the latest. Cecilia, what are you learning?
Well, right now the scene is still very active. Police, fire crews, and the coroner's office are here on scene. They'll be here for a while trying to investigate a cause. And I also spoke with an MUD spokesperson who said that they're working with investigators as well on a possible cause, but could not comment any further.
2 people and a dog were killed in a home explosion this morning. 2 other people were seriously injured. Video from nearby homes showed the scene just minutes after the explosion and the damage left behind. All that's left of a neighboring home is the front end. Investigators plan to be on the scene well into the evening as they try and find a cause and make sure this never happens again.
This is uncommon in Omaha. The last one we had, I believe, was 4 to 5 years ago in North Omaha that we had.
The names of the victims have not been released.
Debris is still in the middle of the street, in the yards of other homes, and even in the trees. We're also told that another dog was found and they're expected to be okay. And you're asked to avoid the area. 51st Street from L to Holmes has been closed down. On your side near 51st and Holmes Street, Cecilia Jenkins, 6 News.
The Omaha Fire Department says investigators are working to figure out what caused that explosion. Omaha police are helping with that, which according to Battalion Chief Scott Fitzpatrick is a standard protocol. Fitzpatrick says this will be a lengthy investigation.
And Battalion Chief Fitzpatrick also described the house as a complete loss leveled by the explosion. We want to go ahead and show you that right now. This is a still image. It was taken from the Sky Alert 6 over the scene this morning. You can see debris scattered and littered in front of where the house once stood. Well, here's a photo from the Douglas County Assessor's website showing what the house once looked like. It's staggering to see the damage side by side right there. And we can see that homes on both sides of the explosion suffered serious damage.
Now, firefighters also battled flames on those neighboring houses, forcing evacuations. And that's where we pick up our coverage with John Chapman. He joins us live. John?
John, when the house exploded this morning, there were some neighbors who ran to the scene to help.
This South Omaha neighborhood will never look the same again. A house exploded, the blast sending debris flying across the street and sending neighbors running to help.
Came out front here and noticed the flames, so I took off right away. Got all the way down there, heard the screams, seen the lady in the street, van, my neighbor helped see if she was okay, but we don't know.
Jeff Mell and his neighbor continued to look through the debris, listening for other people who were caught in the blast.
Then I made my way to the back to the screams and found a guy very badly burned. We couldn't really touch him, so we took blankets that van brought down and wrapped him up as best we could. Then proceeded to get him across the street and then tried to comfort him as much as we could.
This entire neighborhood still in shock over what happened here, and those first on the scene still trying to process what they saw.
I'm still thinking about it, trying to comprehend everything. It's just, I feel sorry for those people, I really do.
Now, one of the neighbors who ran to help told us that he knew the victim that they helped move across the street from the explosion site. On your side in South Omaha, I'm John Chapman, 6 News.
Now, video from Sky Alert 6 reveals more damage from the air surrounding the site of the explosion. We want to revisit some of this footage because it shows just how much investigators are forced to dig through to collect evidence. Hours after explosions ripped apart the house and flames were put out, fire crews remain on scene. They're spraying more water in what we can see was a black spot of charred remains. And for perspective, L Street is on the upper portion of your screen. And again, rescue crews, first responders asking people to avoid this area.
And stay with 6 News for continuing coverage on this breaking news. You can find more photos and videos at WOWT.com, and you can trust us to keep you updated online, on air, and on our 6 News app.
We'll shift gears now. This is a live look over the evening rush. You can see the sunset in progress, 90th and West Dodge. Plenty of sun and mild temperatures for December.
And meteorologist David Keller joins us now. David, we wouldn't even know it was December unless we had those Christmas lights out there.
Yeah, it was really not feeling like December today, and we had a fair amount of sunshine. Now we're getting a beautiful sunset. You can see the colors in the skies. We look out over downtown, the Missouri River, and I-80 as the sun is setting. Yeah, hopefully some of you can snap a couple of pictures of that sunset. Looking really nice out there. Let us know what you see. Right now, it's still in the 50s, 52 here in Omaha. That's way above average for this time of year. Light winds, so a fantastic evening. 56 in Bennington, 56 in Papillion. Temperatures could be sliding back to the 40s as we head into the rest of the evening. Some high clouds drifting on by. That's about it for the area. Very, very quiet out there. Down about 41 by 10 o'clock. Tomorrow could be even warmer, but it is December, so we have some winter weather to talk about. We'll get to that here in a few minutes. Lauren?
All right, David. Preparing for the vaccine rollout.
How health leaders in a hard-hit Omaha community are getting ready.
Since the zip code is one of the hot zip codes, that we have vaccines here for both our employees and our patients.
Tara Campbell with the report. All new next.
This is 6 News Live at 10 on your side with Decision 2020 election night coverage.
Election night in the Heartland. 6 News is on your side covering Decision 2020 with a team of reporters on the ground right now.
And we are spanning the metro to keep you updated on Decision 2020.
First, a look at the latest round of results just into the newsroom. We begin with the race to the White House. This is the popular vote count, and you see Donald Trump with a little bit of a lead, and in this case, the electoral vote, Joe Biden with the lead over Trump at this time.
Now, we do want to stress that a candidate needs 270 electoral votes to win the presidency.
And look at the president race with Nebraska's 2nd congressional district. You can see Biden has the lead over Trump in the 2nd congressional district in Nebraska.
And among the races that we are tracking, Nebraska's 2nd congressional district seat remains atop the list both locally and nationally. Now, Don Bacon, the Republican incumbent, defending his seat from Democrat Carr Eastman right here. He's in the lead with 50% of the vote.
Over to the 1st congressional district race. Republican Jeff Fortenberry has held this seat since 2005. He has narrowed the gap on Kate Boltz, and it's very close at this time. Dennis Grace, the Libertarian candidate. And Congressman Adrian Smith beating challenger Mark Ellsworth easily in the 3rd congressional district. We do want to take a closer look at an analysis of some of the key races.
And we have our very own Brian Mastry standing by with what he's watching tonight. He joins us now from the live desk. Brian?
Lauren, John, I have some even fresher numbers here when you're talking about the District 2 race. These are the ones that we have, but I wanted to give you an update. I actually have Bacon with, I don't know if you can read that, 107,000 instead of the 97, and Carr Eastman with 93. So in big lead by Don Bacon in Sarpy County. That could be enough to hold on to a late surge in Douglas County. There are more Democrats in Douglas County than there are Republicans. So this one looks like it's on the way to possibly being able to withstand that challenge. I'll erase that here and then go to this next race. Now, so you look at this one and then you decide what's going on with the presidential race. And that has Joe Biden at 102,000 to 86 for Trump. Remember, this is that one that you can break out from congressional district. It looks like this one, if it stands, that one electoral vote would go to Joe Biden. And it's also interesting as you look at one that nobody thought that this would be. This is the 1st congressional district with Jeff Fortenberry and Kate Bowles. Right now you have Joe Biden leading Donald Trump. This looks like a 2nd congressional district could go, an electoral vote could go to Biden. But what it looks like is though Kate Bowles is winning big in Lancaster County, and then the rest of the area is going to Jeff Fortenberry. So as we go later into the night, that looks like it could possibly stay that way. One other race before we let you go. Looks like gambling is blowing everything away. Back to you.
All right, Brian, thanks for keeping us updated on that. Now, more results are coming in for key Nebraska races.
First, the Senate seat. Republican Ben Sass, the incumbent, as a very comfortable. In fact, he has secured his seat for another 6 years. Chris Janasek remained on the ballot despite the Democratic Party polling support for Janasek. Voters are encouraged to write in Preston Love Jr. for that race.
And all of the Republican candidates are watching these results come in at tonight's headquarters.
6 News' Liliana Pearson joins us live from the Regency Marriott. Lily.
The Don Bacon campaign is definitely feeling a little bit tighter right now. They said that they were expecting to see Carr Eastman kind of creep up on them tonight as more of these early votes started to get counted, and we are expecting to see more of those coming in tonight at 10:45. No telling right now what that is going to do with Don Bacon's smaller lead than he was kind of hoping to have at this point in the night. But here are some of the very early numbers that we saw when those first votes started coming in. In Douglas County, Don Bacon came out right away with a 17,000 lead over opponent Carr Eastman. Bacon also leading in the district after polls closed with about 20,000 votes more than Eastman. Once the first batch of early votes were announced at 8:45, Bacon had an 8,000 lead in Douglas County, and he led the district with 20,000 votes. Bacon is held to the fact that he has felt confident he was going to win tonight, but he says there are parts of the race he didn't like.
This has been a tougher fight, I think, or tougher campaign. I thought I had the lead last time pretty much through, and this time it's been pretty much I wouldn't call it a dead heat, but within the margin of error at all times. And I think it's also been more harsh. I don't like that. But I've told other people, when you start attacking me and saying I'm racist and anti-Semitic, I'm going to fight back.
We are expecting this to be a long night as these results are rolling out a little bit slower, but I just spoke to somebody with the campaign. They're saying that they're still feeling confident with the lead that they have, and they're happy to see that they're still holding it as some of these early votes are slowly coming out. On your side, Liliana Pearson, 6 News.
There are a number of key races in Iowa, including the Iowa Senate race.
Republican Joni Ernst, the incumbent, facing off against Democratic challenger Teresa Greenfield. And right now, Greenfield is in the lead with 53% of that vote.
Iowa's congressional House races, and we'll start with the 3rd District. Democrat Cindy Axne, she's the incumbent against her challenger David Young. And this has been close through the night, but Axne has increased her lead over Young. Over the 4th District race, the race that the current Congressman Steve King lost in the primary. This race featuring 2 new faces vying for the spot, Republican Randy Feenstra with 58% of the vote over J.D. Scholten. All right, Sharon, and more on the local side. The Democrats are socially distancing due to the rise in COVID cases.
Well, candidates have been checking into the party's virtual podium. Alex McClune joins us now from the Democratic headquarters at the downtown Hilton. Alex?
Well, state races are starting to tighten up. Here at the Hilton, we would normally be hearing from state candidates in person, but instead the party decided to hold events online. Think of this as their virtual podium. Chairwoman Jane Klebb and state candidates have been connecting with supporters through NDP's Facebook live stream. We're seeing Douglas and Sarpy County state legislative races and congressional races tighten up. The party now expects the results for those races to come in later than thought.
The early vote numbers, which we thought were all going to be published at 8:45, they're breaking it up into batches. And so you're going to see that race getting very, very tight. And I don't think you'll start to see a winner until late into the evening. And the same is true for Joe Biden and Donald Trump.
Officials here say they remain confident in state candidates because of the increase in young voter turnout. On your side, Alex McClune, 6 News.
All right, Alex, thank you. And we want to do a rundown to a few Douglas County Board of Commission races.
Yeah, first we'll start in District 1. Mike Boyle running unopposed for the commission. And what's interesting, his daughter is running as a commissioner seat in District 5. She's a physician, Maureen, and she has the lead over Lonergan at this point, the comfortable lead at 62%.
And now to the District 3 race. Now, this is interesting because Chris Rogers technically is running unopposed, but former Nebraska State Senator Ernie Chambers is challenging Rogers as a write-in candidate. But here, Rogers takes the lead with 86%. And finally, let's go to District 7 race. Republican Mike Friend is taking on Democrat Joe Giles, and it looks like Mike Friend in the lead here with 60%. In Nebraska, voters were tasked with deciding a couple of ballot measures.
And including gambling and payday loans. And we'll look at those initiatives now. Let's start with gambling. The 3 initiatives on Nebraska gambling must all pass for casinos to come to horse tracks. And 429 authorizes the gambling. You look at the very strong number of votes for the initiatives, and that's 429. 430 establishes a commission to regulate casinos. Again, a very strong 4, this initiative, and 431 imposes taxes on casinos. And that distributes money from there. So all three are carrying at this point in Nebraska.
And the other ballot initiative for Nebraska voters, putting a cap on payday loans. A vote for this measure would change Nebraska law, limiting interest rates on loans. And it looks like, yes, voters in Nebraska have decided a yes on this initiative. And there are 2 amendments to Nebraska's Constitution. We'll start with the first, a vote to remove slavery or involuntary servitude from the Nebraska Constitution as punishment for a crime. And it looks like here that passed with flying colors.
A second amendment authorizes the legislature to extend the time to repay tax increment financing or TIF debts. And that is carrying as well Amendment 2. Now to the city-county effort to build a new law enforcement center in Dodge County and Fremont. The Sheriff's Office is working with the Police Department in this proposal. First of all, the Dodge County Law Enforcement Center vote is not carrying at this point, 52% saying no, they do not want it. That bond more for $10 million to build the Police Department in Fremont, the site of a new center. The intent here to pass both sections and to build a center. So the Fremont vote is as you see, also, the voters are not in favor of a law enforcement center in Fremont as well, a new one. We are tracking more races,
including the 2nd District race, and we'll be right back with more after this.
Now, Omaha Every Day.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dave Weber. This is Omaha Every Day. My special guest today is John Fesch from the Nebraska Extension Institute.
Right.
And what are we talking about today?
Well, I'm talking about a topic that is on a lot of the viewers' minds. And, you know, they've been out looking at their landscape, and they used to have tomatoes, maybe. And now, because of a few light frosts, those tomatoes have died back. And so what do you do with all this stuff?
Make compost.
You do make compost. That was the rehearsal topic. So you cut it into little parts like this, and then just kind of leave it there. And you could mix with it lawn clippings and tree leaves and other frozen plant parts, and even a few fruits. You can
I
put
found
those.
a tomato.
Yeah, and you can put those together, and then the idea is to take a pitchfork and you turn it. You put it in some kind of a structure like this, only life size, and then you turn it, and then in about 6 months, it turns into the stuff in front of you.
The magic.
The magic. In fact, that's what we call it, black gold, or the magic soil supplement, I guess you could call it. But the very thing that a lot of new construction, and what I mean by new is less than 40 years old, landscapes are really needing is something to loosen that heavy clay soil.
And this does it.
And that does it. And so a good inch or so of that when you do some new planting is just the ticket. It's just the secret ingredient that you need.
And they can always call you to get more information about
Yep,
it.
master gardeners are standing by, and we'll be there to help with any kind of sustainable landscaping questions that they may have.
Thanks, John.
You bet. Good to be here.
That's Omaha Every Day. I'm Dave Weber. Thank you for watching, and thank you, John.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News Today starts now.
A man is in critical condition this morning after a drive-by shooting late Saturday. This morning, the search is on to find the shooters.
Welcome to Sunday, everyone. I'm meteorologist Andrew Humphrey. We've got temperatures that will make it into the 60s again later today with more sunshine. Does that mean we get closer to a record? We'll talk more about that. We'll talk more about your 7-day forecast and, of course, President's Day coming up. Nick Monticelli with us this morning live. Good Sunday morning to you, Nick.
Andrew, good morning to you, my friend. You have brought the spring temperatures, so we've got the Macomb Spring Home Improvement Show. A free show with everything you want to know about redoing your home, remodeling your home, maybe even buying a new one if you want to do that. We'll take you on a tour next. Sean, Priya, good morning to both of you.
Good morning. Nick Monticelli reporting for us live. With the weather this weekend, this is the time to start thinking about those home improvements.
We're thinking and feeling spring. Good morning,
Yes.
Priya. Good morning, everyone. Sean Lay in with Priya, and of course, Andrew Humphrey watching those warm temperatures for us all weekend long. Yesterday was delightful. Can we expect the same thing today?
And a record breaker yesterday. We smashed a record set back in 1976. We made it up to 69 yesterday. Today, getting close to another record, folks, with more sunshine. Partly to mostly sunny skies throughout the entire day. We're starting off in the upper 30s to around 40 degrees. We'll see 55 at noon, 62 for a high by 4 p.m. A couple of degrees shy of the record of 64 set back in the 1800s. There's still a chance of tying it, though. And we're looking at sunrise at 7:24. Out there right now, upper 30s, low 40s. 43 for our friends in Mount Clemens. Remember how chilly it was yesterday, east side of the region, mostly in the 30s. We still have 39 for our friends over in Port Huron. It was down to 36 24 hours ago. But Mount Clemens seeing some 40s right now. All these temperatures already above our average highs this time of year. And looking good out there for an early Sunday morning, right? Temperatures around 40 degrees over at Metro Airport. Visibility looking good. So dry roadways, good visibility as I head to and from services this early Sunday morning. Now we've got temperatures that will make it into the 60s today, but what about President's Day? The next 7 days. Got that part of your forecast in a few minutes. Remember, you can track temperatures for live radar. Get my weather forecasts on the Local Forecasters app. Download it now. It's free. Search WDIV in your app store.
Andrew, thanks. Let's check those roads right now on a Sunday morning. We're looking at the MDOT's My Drive map showing no accidents across Metro Detroit for your morning commute if you're getting up early and heading out. The box right there, M10 in Wyoming, there's a live camera. Very light traffic on the road right now, and again, we're accident-free. At 6:02, we've got breaking news right now coming from Detroit's east side. A firefighter is injured after falling through a staircase while fighting a fire on Lodwick. The fire was called in just before 5 this morning.
And fellow firefighters had to pull the firefighter who fell to safety. He's been taken to the hospital. The home appears to be occupied. We're told everyone living there got out safely.
Developing this morning, the search is on for 3 men involved in a drive-by shooting on Detroit's west side. The shooting on Prevost near 7 Mile sent neighbors to take cover. When they looked back outside, they discovered a man was hit.
And Jarrett Terry is in the neighborhood. And Jarrett, do police know who they're looking for?
This morning, all police know is that the gunmen were driving a maroon minivan and they fired multiple shots into this house. But the big question looming is why.
All is quiet now on Prevost and Clarita Streets on Detroit's west side, but neighbors are still uneasy.
My daughter won't even come over here because of this type of stuff.
Saturday afternoon, police say 3 men in a minivan pulled up on the block. It's believed all 3 had guns and started spraying the house. Ivan Bagley lives across the street and received a call from his frightened girlfriend.
I just heard a bunch of shots. I heard it over the shower. I was in the shower. I'm like, well, you all right? She like, yeah.
But the same could not be said for his neighbor and friend. The 36-year-old was hit multiple times. It's believed he came out of the house and collapsed on the front lawn.
I'm sad now because he told me in critical condition, so.
The gunmen are still on the loose, leaving those who live here to fear the trio could return. They consider them bold and dangerous, considering they pulled off this drive-by in broad daylight.
We don't need that in the community. You know, we just, is nonsense, for one. You know, we just don't need that around here.
Now they're wondering if they had the right house or not.
Yeah, all right, good guy. Hope you make it. Praying he make it. Praying he make it.
When last checked, the victim was listed in critical condition. Of course, if you have any information about what happened out here, you are urged to contact Detroit Police. Reporting on the city's west side, Jarrett Terry, Local 4.
Another shooting in Detroit we first told you about yesterday morning. A man still hospitalized in temporary serious condition after a shooting at a downtown hotel in Detroit. Police say the man was shot during a confrontation inside the Leland Hotel. That's at Bagley and Cass. It happened around 5 Saturday morning. Security and others ordered that man to leave. He refused and someone shot him. It's unknown at this time if the gunman was arrested.
Time now is 6:05 and an investigation is underway on Detroit's east side after someone opened fire on twin brothers, killing one of them. Police say the 2 victims were in their vehicles in a parking lot on Whittier Friday night when they were approached and shot. Both were taken to the hospital where one of the brothers succumbed to his injuries. The other remains in critical condition. No arrests have been made. As the city of Flint remains without clean and safe drinking water, there are new concerns about potential health problems in children who drank the water.
Doctors say young kids in the city of Flint have been quicker to become angry. Every child at Cummins Preschool in Flint was exposed to lead at a very vulnerable age. Half of them have high levels of lead, and there is no medication to get rid of that lead in their systems. The pediatrician who helped expose the crisis in 2015 says symptoms really could take years to show up.
Not knowing adds to a lot of the anxiety that our families are going through. Is my kid doing bad in school because of the water, or was my kid always supposed to have issues with school?
To help slow down the lead's effects in the children, doctors recommend good nutrition, lots of outdoor play and mental stimulation. So far, only 800 homes have been refitted with new pipes in Flint. Friday, Michigan civil rights officials say systematic racism going back decades led to the Flint water crisis. The Michigan Civil Rights Commission released a 130-page report after holding several meetings and hearings on the crisis. The report says no one intended to poison Flint with lead water, but it concludes decisions would have been different if the area was wealthier and if it was white.
In Detroit, community members came together yesterday to deliver a message of peace. The event was called Tears in the City. It was held at Strictly God's Business Ministry on the city's east side. The church's leaders said the event's purpose was to remind the city's youth that with open arms and belief in community, they do not have to give in to violence.
Day of celebration as a street was renamed for a Detroit champ.
Thomas the Hitman Hearns was honored yesterday as a stretch of McGraw Avenue near Junction was renamed Thomas Hearns Avenue. Hearns said he never dreamed this day would happen.
And never have I dreamed about having my own street. But it happened. It's all because of the faith of God.
Thomas Hearns Avenue is a meaningful location in Detroit's boxing history near the old Kronk Community Center and Gym where Hearns once trained. Well, happening today, are you itching for spring? What better way to put that spring back in your step than to get a head start on your home improvement?
Making a list at home right now. Our Dick Monticelli over in Warren with us this morning, checking out the 6th annual Macomb Spring Home Improvement Show. Nick, it's delightful to see you on a Sunday morning. Good morning, sir.
I'm loving it. Good morning, everybody. And considering that it actually is spring outside this weekend, why not have the Macomb Spring Home Improvement Show? I've got my new buddy Levi here from Rock Solid Exteriors. They're a roofing company. They do windows. They do a lot of things. And the Pink Panther is back there as well. I think he wanted to shine. Levi said there for a moment. Go ahead, come on in, Pink Panther. Go ahead, give him a little rub. I think he's afraid to. All right, so Levi, I know you guys do roofs, you do windows, but what's special about this show? You've got a ton of people coming in here. I assume you can probably get some pretty good deals.
Yeah. So we're at the Macomb Home Show. If you come down today, and it's today only, we're going to give you 10 to 30% off of any new exterior product going forward for this future. You can get your bids now. We can do it a couple months later. It doesn't matter. You're still going to save a ton of money coming down today.
So I know that probably throughout the course of the year, everyone's going to have issues with their roof. But when we've got temperatures like this, up and down all over the place, do you see more customers because suddenly, oh, wait, it's raining now. Now I do have a leak.
Absolutely. So the winter's all done. Everything's thawing out. Now everything's coming through. And if you let your roof go too long, you can actually have a lot of problems with your wood as well. So you want to get stuff checked out, and you want to get it checked out right away.
One of the things you had mentioned earlier is that you guys offer a platinum warranty, which not a whole lot of companies have. Can you explain that?
Correct. So we're an Owens Corning Platinum contractor. So what that means is we can offer a platinum warranty, which is going to give you a 50-year bumper-to-bumper shingle. We're also going to come out every spring. We're going to check your property out, the entire exteriors of it, and we're going to let you know if there's any problems going forward.
So every time it warms up, you're just going to knock on my door?
That's right.
All right. So
it's a great package.
One thing that you've got that I think is interesting is this kind of display here, looking inside of the roof. If you crawled up the side of your attic, you know there's supposed to be insulation, but you said a lot of people don't have this done properly?
Well, a lot of people just have never got up there to look. They don't understand it. So what we do when we come out to do an inspection is we're going to give you a thorough inspection. We're not just going to come into your house and try to sell you something. We're going to get into your attic. We're going to check out your wood to make sure it's all still proper. We're going to make sure your insulation's at proper levels. And we're also going to make sure that you have baffling, proper intake and outtake of your ventilation, and the system works well so that the roof life actually lasts as long as it should last, and that you're saving money on your energy bills.
And then you can get a brand new one every couple of years.
Well, you got it. If it gets there.
But it shouldn't, not with that kind of warranty, right? All right, hey, Levi, thank you very much for getting out. We appreciate that. So if you're going to come down here, meet Levi or the rest of the folks here at the Macomb Spring Home Improvement Show, you can do so. The show is going on today. It's the last day at the South Campus of Macomb Community College. They are off of 12 Mile. The show is from 10 o'clock in the morning until 4 o'clock tonight. And here's the best part. And for those of you that remember when I used to be on this shift all the time, my favorite word, free. Free admission, free parking, free to get in. It's going to be a fantastic day. However, I do have a question. Sure. If you do have somebody from this company come out, will the Pink Panther come and actually be on my roof? Can I make that happen?
We can try.
All right, so Sean and Priya, a little challenge. Right now, live on television, can one of you either hum or sing the Pink Panther theme?
Oh, yeah, Peter
Please?
Gunn.
Please?
The Peter Gunn theme. We want to see you in the Pink Panther suit coming up in the next half hour.
Oh,
Squeeze yourself in there, Nick.
I'll have to
Thanks so
Rochambeau with the Pink Panther to see if I can get off. Yeah, right.
All right,
See you
thanks
in
so
a bit.
much, Nick.
Thanks, Nick. A lot more coming up on Local 4 News today. This weather this weekend is fantastic. It really is the big story of the weekend, Andrew.
Andrew, I was calling you the hero of the weekend.
I like the
this
sound of
has
that.
been amazing.
Sure, I'll take credit for it.
Yeah.
Why not? Why not do that on a Sunday morning? Now, actually, we are looking at wonderful conditions, of course, as we go through the day, starting off with dry conditions right now. Temperatures above freezing again, around 40 degrees. Just got to keep on banking and crediting these days because there could be some changes. But any mild or cold changes for this week? We'll talk more about that. Your President's Day forecast coming right up.
This week, Henrik Zetterberg talked about morale. Well, they did a pretty good job against the league-leading Capitals. Highlights next.